Welcome to This Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here. If you're staring down your latest college-level essay assignment and maybe feeling just a little bit overwhelmed by terms like synthesis, rhetorical strategies, or database research, take a breath because you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going completely hands-on with your assignment instructions for the synthesis and analysis, the TED Talk database essay. The whole goal today is to demystify this prompt for you, break down exactly what your professor is actually looking for, and give you the structural blueprint to absolutely crush this paper. We're going to look closely at the materials, translate all that academic jargon into actionable steps, and totally set you up for success. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our clear roadmap for today. We'll cover the true goal of the assignment, selecting your sources, structuring your essay, the formatting logistics, and finally some pro tips for success.
Section 1. The goal, beyond summary, putting text in conversation.
So, there's a pretty hard line in the sand between high school-level book reports and college-level academic research. Your primary goal here is synthesis. And synthesis is all about analyzing the relationship between multiple sources and making an argument about what that relationship actually reveals. You really aren't just summarizing what a speaker said. Instead, think of it like taking two distinct texts, placing them in a virtual room together, and just observing how their ideas interact. Do they align? Do they come into tension? How do ideas evolve across different forms of media? Your job is to step up and act as the moderator of this conversation, developing a focused, evidence-based argument about the big picture.
Section 2. Selecting your sources. The TED Talk and the PBSC database.
Right, so for your primary source, you've got a strict menu of two options, and you have to choose exactly one. Option A is Adam Alexis's TED Talk, Are We Cooked? How Social Media Shapes Language? And option B is Carol Cadwalader's TED Talk, This is What a Digital Coup Looks Like. Whichever one you go with, you're going to analyze the speaker's main argument, their key ideas, and the rhetorical strategies they use to persuade their audience. A quick tip, make sure you watch your chosen talk actively. Take notes, pause, rewind, and really dig into how the speaker is building their case. Okay, once you've locked in your TED Talk, you need your secondary source. And the absolutely crucial point here is that you cannot just rely on a random Google search. You have to use the Palm Beach State College or PBSC library databases. You'll log in with your student credentials and hunt for one recent, credible secondary source that specifically interacts with your chosen TED Talks topic. This could be a scholarly journal article, a research study, or a credible analysis piece. And remember, this source needs a very specific job. It must either support and expand on the TED Talk, completely challenge and complicate it, or offer a brand new perspective on the exact same issue. Section 3. Structuring your essay. The blueprint for your writing.
Let's talk about the architectural breakdown of the paper, how you actually build your overall argument. You are tasked with a very strict 5-paragraph structure. Seriously, do not deviate from this. Step 1 is your introduction, ending with a strong thesis. Step 2 is body paragraph 1, which focuses entirely on the TED Talk. Step 3 is body paragraph 2, focusing entirely on your secondary source. Step 4 is body paragraph 3, and this is the magic paragraph where you connect the two. And finally, step 5 is your conclusion, leaving the reader with a final insight. It's just a really clean, logical progression. Think of each body paragraph as having a highly specific job description. Body 1 is all about the TED Talk. You'll summarize the main ideas, discuss 1 or 2 rhetorical strategies the speaker uses, and definitely ground your claims with specific quotes. Then, Body 2 pivots to your secondary source. Here, you summarize its findings, explain how it connects to the TED Talk's topic, and explicitly identify whether it supports, challenges, or complexes the TED speaker's argument. Finally, Body 3 is the connection. This is where the true synthesis happens. You're going to compare and contrast both texts, explain exactly how they align or diverge, and analyze what their relationship actually reveals about the issue as a whole. Now, before we move on to formatting, let's look at the absolute cornerstone of your entire essay, the thesis statement. A strong thesis goes way beyond just saying these two sources are connected. It has to explain the how and the why. Consider this exact example. While the TED Talk emphasizes personal narratives to challenge stereotypes, the secondary source reinforces this argument through empirical data, revealing how storytelling and research work together. Do you see how powerful that is? It names the strategies, personal narratives versus empirical data, and it explicitly states the revelation, which is that they work together to reshape understanding. That right there is the gold standard you are aiming for in your introduction. Section 4. Formatting and Logistics. Following the strict guidelines. All right, the guardrails for this assignment are incredibly precise. No lost points on technicalities. You have a maximum of 2 full pages. Note that that does not include your works cited page. You need to use standard MLA formatting, so that's double-spaced, 12-point Times New Roman font, and 1-inch margins. You absolutely must use proper MLA in-text citations whenever you quote or paraphrase, and you'll need a separate works cited page listing both your TED Talk and your PBSC database source. Finally, when you're ready to submit the whole shebang, make sure you upload it as a Word document or a PDF directly to Canvas.
And I want you to circle the number 8 on your calendar right now. Your essay is due Monday, June 8th, 2026 by 11:59 p.m. Mark it down, set an alarm on your phone, do whatever you need to do to ensure that Word doc or PDF is uploaded before midnight.
Finally, Section 5, Pro Tips for Success, How to Get an A+ and Where to Find Help. Here's a huge tip. Because you are strictly limited to 2 full pages maximum, you literally cannot possibly talk about every single point made in a 15-minute TED Talk and a 10-page academic journal. You just can't. You have to prioritize depth over breadth. Choose the most meaningful, most striking ideas and connections and analyze them deeply. Trust me, it's so much better to explore one brilliant connection thoroughly than to shallowly list 5 different minor similarities. Stay laser-focused on your thesis. Now, if you hit a wall while you're writing, please do not panic. Help is built right into your course. If you're struggling with citations, head over to the Start Here module in Canvas for MLA formatting resources. Before you hit Submit, definitely review the ENC 1101 or ENC 1102 essay rubric to make sure you've checked off every single box your professor is grading against. And if you really want to make sure your synthesis is hitting the mark, go visit the SLC English Lab in room BT216 for some extra support. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with the ultimate question this entire assignment is asking you to answer. What broader insight emerges when these 2 texts are read together? Seriously, think about that. If you can answer that clearly and back it up with evidence in your body paragraphs, you are going to write an incredible essay. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Get out there, log into that PBSC database, and happy writing.